Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave Dubeau.
Hey, gang, welcome back to another episode of the High Ticket Success Podcast. Today, it's a thrill for me to have my old friend Chuck Anderson on the call. Chuck and I have known each other for over 2 decades now, connecting way back in around 2005, 6 or something crazy like that, when we were both working with Fast Track to Cash Flow and doing events across Canada and talking in front of hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. Chuck was one of our most popular presenters back there, talking a lot about affiliate relationships. And that's still his thing, is all about collaborations and affiliate relationships. He is an expert on that. He's helped many people generate millions of dollars in revenue for their businesses, thanks to getting other people on board to promote them. So Chuck, it's a thrill to have you.
Yeah, it's a thrill to be here and reconnect after, like you said, over 2 decades. It makes us sound old, but what was really cool is that when you just introduced me, the fact that I'm still working in the same industry as I was 2 decades ago, and you don't hear that often. I never really thought about it until just now.
I'm not really in the same business I was 2 decades ago. I think it's gone through 5 iterations. So yeah, you're doing something right there, my friend. So I gave you a brief introduction, but when people say, "Hey, Chuck, what do you do?" How do you explain it?
Yeah. Well, very simply, what I do is I help people set up what's called an affiliate program that allows you to attract partners and affiliates and give them an easy way to promote you, and in exchange for a commission or a percentage of the revenue or profits. And so if you can recruit a handful or sometimes even an army of affiliates that are promoting you, that's your lead generation taken care of. That's your incoming. We all need lead generation and list build. And so you leverage other people's communities, you leverage other people's lists, you offer them a commission, a percentage, and they send you the leads in hope that you'll do a good job with those leads. And when you make a sale, they get a cut. And in the simplest terms, that is what it is. And so we help set up the tech, and we do all the marketing copy, and then we work with people to recruit, train, and manage their own network of partners and affiliates that not just promote them one time. That's very transactional. We're all about developing long-term relationships with your partners, so they're going to want to promote you regularly, or at least numerous times throughout the year. So
I've got 2 questions that come to my mind right now, just kind of put myself in the place of the listener or the viewer. Question number 1 would be, who makes your ideal client? Like who's like a really good person or kind of business to have affiliates? Because it's not everybody and anybody. Right. So where does this typically work best, Chuck?
Yeah, there's 4 types of businesses that are offers that work extremely well. Okay. I would say that the majority of people that we're working with are who we call the high ticket providers. So coaches, consultants, service providers of that kind, because they're in constant need of networking. They're in constant need of lead flow to sell their services. But it goes beyond that. We work with a lot of course creators and authors. We work with people who have membership programs or subscription programs, or maybe even a software. And it works extremely well, especially with a software program that has a free trial or something like that. We also work with physical products. And so we have a company out of Utah that sells blankets. We have another company that sells journals and coffee mugs and other types of merch. I mean, you can really coffee makers. You can do it with really anything. But my primary, so the point there is that you really can apply it to any type of business, where it be B2B or B2C. But our 80% or more easily is the B2B high ticket service providers.
So the coaches, consultants,
coaches, consultants, whether it be like a high ticket coaching program that they're selling or a course. And most of them come to us because they're not selling enough of them. And, they don't have the lead flow. So they come to us and go, well, I want to grow my list, or I want to get more leads. I'm not selling enough of this program. And so we try to talk them out of making a huge mistake, which is what a lot of coaches do is when they're not selling enough of their program is they develop a new program.
Cheaper. Yeah. They're like lower ticket so they could sell more theoretically to the
exactly. And I've made that mistake. I've had my share of times where things weren't going as well. And so I know the psychology behind what's happening. But what happens is people go, oh, well, my program's not working. And so I'm going to create this new program thinking that the new program is going to solve all their problems. Well, it doesn't. It's like moving the furniture around. You just delay the inevitable, which is you're going to have the same problem, which is you don't have a problem with your program. You just don't have enough people seeing it. And, you just need, so you need the list build and you need the exposure.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the thing. The people that you're looking for that would buy your program, because I'm sure your program is great, the masses or the numbers of people that you want to sell your program to already exist in other people's communities. They're on people's newsletters. They're in their Facebook groups. They're on their LinkedIn. They're on their email lists, their podcasts, YouTube channels. I mean, there's a very long list of communities and groups. But the thing is that the people you are trying to reach and sell your program to who just haven't found you yet already exist in other people's lists. So an affiliate program is really just a way to connect with and collaborate with those, the people who already have who you want to serve, and give them a nice, easy way to promote you so that you both win.
Let's zoom out for a second here, Chuck.
Yeah.
So let's just use an example of a coach who offers at the moment, one-on-one coaching services, that sort of thing. How, if you were working with someone like that, how would you help them get affiliate partners? How would you help them kind of structure what the offer is, what the split should be? Just let's paint the picture in a way that people can really understand.
Well, I always like to work backwards. And so like, what's the end goal? What is it that we're selling? What is it that we want people to join, and work backwards? And so many people start from the front and they just keep adding things on until they have this mess. But let's start at the end, begin with the end in mind. And that is, you want people to join your coaching program. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to have what we call an irresistible offer. And let me tell you what an irresistible offer is not. It's not fancy slogans. It's not a fancy name. It's not, sales copy. That's part of delivering it, but that's not what makes it irresistible. What makes it irresistible is that it is a specific solution to a specific problem that they have an urgent need to fill, right?
So you've seen a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Can you give us an example of your favorite irresistible offer?
Yes. Well, let's use a very simple analogy, and it's not a coaching analogy, but let's say you're drinking red wine and you spill a glass of wine on your white carpet, and now it's like you have an urgent need to get that stain out of the carpet,
especially before your wife sees it. So
that's right. And if you are selling a solution that gets that red wine out of the carpet without having to replace the carpet, is that a solution that is cheaper than replacing the carpet? Well,
yeah.
And that's what makes it irresistible. You have an urgent need, and you are now positioning yourself as someone who can solve that problem. Now, in the coaching world, that can mean a whole lot of things. In the marketing world, that usually comes down to three things. One is lead generation, the other is sales, and the other one is profit making. Those three are all interconnected. But when you take almost every one of us who is a marketing consultant, that's what we do. And so you got to look, determine what your potential client's urgent need is and position your offer so that it is a direct solution to that problem. The mistake a lot of coaches make is that, and not to unpack this too much because I know we have a lot of ground to cover, but is that they try to make their client fit the program versus making their program fit the client, right? So you have to listen to your client and what their urgent need is and present it to them in a way. And it might mean presenting it in a unique way each time. And so making it the irresistible.
So the question that comes to mind there is if that's the case, then how would an affiliate promote?
Oh yeah. Well, this is why we're working backwards, right? So first step, you have to have your irresistible offer. Okay. Then how do you sell the irresistible offer? Well, if you're a high ticket coach, there's no better place to be than in a one-on-one conversation with somebody who needs your irresistible offer. So you need to book these consultations. But then where do we get these consultations from? What we have done is we have found that we need an easy way to get those, and that is by hosting a monthly webinar or workshop.
Okay.
Because what that does is it allows us to, and maybe this because my background is in seminars, being mentored by Harv Eker and Robert Kiyosaki on doing large events.
Yeah.
And so webinars are still our number one place to find new customers. The problem is when we tell people, it's like, well, I've tried webinars before, I couldn't fill them. I didn't have enough people there. That's where the affiliates come in, right? And
so the affiliate, let me make sure I'm getting this. So the affiliate is not promoting the coach's direct coaching service. The coach is doing a monthly webinar about some sexy topic, and the affiliates are helping to fill that webinar.
Precisely.
Nice.
Because here's a scenario. Let's say you have an affiliate and they promote your $5,000 coaching program.
Yeah.
Well, people don't buy coaching programs off the shelf like they're shopping at Walmart, right? They just don't. And so, there's a relationship that needs to be built there. You need to discover what their urgent need is. You can't just send them to a sales page and have them sign up for your $5,000 offer. So we can't ask affiliates to do that. Also, if you did ask them to do that, they would have all sorts of questions like, does this align with my values? And who are you? And is this good? I only want to promote things that are good. But if we zoom out and we have them promote the webinar instead, well, the webinar is free. So it's perceived as a value add to their list. It's very, very, very low barrier to them saying yes to promote. And they don't ask any questions about, does this align with my audience? And, is your product any good or anything? They never do. And so the promise is this, you promote my webinar, and out of everyone who attends and purchases our program, we will give you a percentage or a dollar amount. So we usually talk in dollar amounts. So we might say
let's say it's a $5,000 package.
Yeah. So our commissions range from $500 to $1,000 on a $5,000 coaching program. Mm-hmm. We try to be as generous as, $1,000 is 20%. And so it might sound like a lot, but you watch that affiliate repeat and go out of their way to promote you more next time when you send them $1,000. And so be as generous as possible, not too generous, but generous as possible. I've seen a lot of people to go, well, I'll send you $100 if somebody joins my $5,000 coaching program. It's not enough to be exciting. But what we ultimately want is to find a partner who will help us fill our webinar, because we know if we can get people to the webinar, we're going to make sales every single time. And so we are looking for 3 types of affiliates that we work with. One is called in the coaching industry, a JV partner. Now, you and I come from a different world where a JV meant something completely different, but a JV partner in the coaching world simply means a reciprocal promotion, or I promote you, you promote me. So you might promote a webinar of mine, and I might promote a webinar of yours, or something of yours. And so that's the default in the coaching world. A lot of people are doing that, but we like to go further than that. The next one is what we call an influencer. So an influencer has a community or a list or a newsletter or something, some way of reaching massive amounts of your ideal customer. And so they agree to promote your webinar, and you agree to pay them X% for everyone who becomes a client. And the reason that they're doing it, they're primarily interested in the commissions. They're not interested in the reciprocal promotion. So that's the second type. And so that's where a lot of we use our podcasts and we use our outreach to find new partners. And then there's my favorite kind, and very overlooked because of the low volume nature of them, but they're ones we call ambassadors. And ambassadors are your existing clients, past or present, or people who've been through one of your events or programs before. They're a fan of what you do, and you give them an offer to invite their friends to attend your webinar. Especially we target coaches. Coaches always know other coaches. So we just simply say to them, how many of you know somebody who should be in this program right now? And we give them an opportunity to invite them to our next webinar. And if that person signs up, we give them a choice. You can either take the money, or we will double the amount and you can apply that to additional services or time in our program. And in the last 2 years, we've only had one person take the money. Everyone takes the value. They either apply.
So it's $1,000 cash in our example, or $2,000 in the services you're already paying for as a discount off the whatever your program is, whatever they're already in.
Exactly. And that obviously that when it's a lot less costly for us to do that than it is to pay out the money, because when I subtract what it actually costs my team to deliver that service, we're way further ahead. Plus, it gives them more work as well. So there's a lot of win-wins.
Well, and I mean, and the client is absolutely thrilled, right? Because they're already a fan. Interesting, Chuck. Maybe give us an example of how you use this exact methodology yourself in your business? Are you doing the monthly webinar, or is this something you set up for your clients?
Yeah, it's both. It's both. And so this is a model that I use in my business. Nice. Every month I host a workshop. It's called How to Get Affiliates to Send You Clients and Fill Your Events, right? Nice. Notice, doesn't have a fancy name. It just tells you what it is.
How to get affiliates to promote your stuff and fill your event. I like it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was at a industry conference one time, and Frank Kern was talking, and he said, guys, if you want to sell a horse, just say horse for sale. You don't have to use all the fancy language.
Don't invent a bunch of weird language,
right?
Stats. Yeah.
Yeah. So how to get affiliates to send you clients and fill your events, because that's exactly what it does. So yeah, we use the exact same model. I host a monthly webinar. Mm-hmm. It's being filled because of the leads we've generated through our partnerships. Now, we have different ways that we find partnerships, but the monthly webinar is always filled with our partners. We host the webinar, we book the consultations, and we convert, like clockwork, a certain number of those people into clients. And so the work boils down to two things. Number one, following up from the previous webinars attendees, because that's where the clients are, right? And the second thing is aligning up partners that are going to help us fill the next event. Those are the only two things we focus on.
So you've got this pretty dialed in for yourself and your business. When you're working with a new client, setting up this whole system for them, what are your targets? Like, how many partners are you trying to get to promote for them, affiliates or partners or ambassadors, that sort of thing, every month to fill up their webinar? What does a full webinar mean for people? I mean, is it 10 people on live? Is it 1,000 people on live? Is it, what are kind of the benchmarks that you're typically looking for?
Yeah. So I love this because a lot of people assume that it needs to be a lot. And honestly, you can be quite self-sustaining with a network of 5 to 10 partners. And it does not have to be a lot. In fact, I could tell you numerous stories on numerous podcast episodes of where it was only one partner. And I'll tell you a quick one because this is the thing where it really cemented it in my mind for me. Back in 2010, I was the marketing director of a $20 million seminar company. This is a time in my life, I called it my dream job. And that came to an end when that company was sold. And I had a choice. I had to go out and find another job or start another, go back out and get back into my consulting business. Because you and I met before all of this when I was already consulting. And so, and then, got off to a fast start with the relationships. But then I started, I had a rough year. We had a death in the family. We had, we were struggling to get clients, and I started to make stupid mistakes. And I'm sorry if anyone's doing these, lowering prices, thinking I was going to get more clients. That does not work. Spending money on an ad campaign with a budget that was too small to work. I knew that, and I did it anyways. And now I was at zero. And I literally had no options left. I either needed a miracle solution or I needed to go get a job. But I had the webinar and I had the offer, and I knew that they both work. I just needed more people there. So that's where I decided, okay, here's my commission program. My only option left is to network and try to find a partner. I did that, and I found a guy at a time where this was like November of 2012. We were not going to make it to the end of the year. Like, we were practically already at zero. He wanted to promote us in January. And I convinced him to like, no, let's do it in December.
The month nobody wants to do anything.
Yeah. If I had waited to January, he would have sent 3 emails. And I said, well, if we do it in December, I can only send out 1 email. I said, I'll take it. But he was a good influencer. He had our target audience. So he sent out 1 email. We had just under 100 people register for that webinar. And we sold 9 clients into a $4,000 coaching program that month, right? Nice. I paid him $14,000 in commissions, and I kept just under $22,000 for myself at a time where we were at zero. This was the last kick of the can. Was that a fluke? Turns out, no. We have done that again and again and again by targeting quality partners. Not just anyone who says they'll promote, because in the affiliate industry, we have a joke, the 80-20 rule. It's more like the 99-1 rule. So focus on quality, not quantity. It's not about how many affiliates you have. It's about, do they have the reach of your target audience? Because sometimes all it takes is 1 every month to be quite sustainable. So, a network of 5 to 10 partners who each promote you 3 to 5 times a year it's all you need. It's all you need. And you can just keep systematically adding to it. We call it snowballing. We're both Canadian, so we know what snowballing is, right? It just kind of increments and grows as you go. You don't need thousands. You don't even need hundreds. Just build high quality relationships that want to promote you.
And those ambassadors, that's brilliant as well. Chuck, I know you got to jump. You got another call coming up right away. I'm sure people want to connect with you, find out more. That webinar sounds pretty sexy. If people want to connect with you, or if they want to attend your monthly webinar, what's the best way for them to get in your works?
Yeah. So I'll give you 2 URLs. One, you want to check out what I'm doing, go to chuckandersoncoaching.com. It's pretty easy to spell, chuckandersoncoaching.com. And if you want to attend my workshop, my website is eventaffiliates.com/workshop, eventaffiliates.com/workshop. And come and join me. It's 90 minutes. It's free. And I'll show you everything you need to know on how to start an affiliate program for yourself.
Awesome, Chuck. Thanks so much for being on the show. We'll have to have you again because we just scratched the surface of this. So thanks so much, my friend.
We very much did. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured, share your story, and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.